Hi, everyone, and welcome to the practitioner call. Today is June 15th. It's 9:04. I'm so glad you're here. This call is particularly to educate the healthcare providers, the practitioners, and the folks that call on practitioners, as well as the clients of practitioners. So I guess that would be all of us. But I want to definitely let you know that this call is more about the tools that a practitioner can use in their box in order to help their clients. So the first 30 minutes, we're going to talk about some of the LifeWave technology that practitioners can use. But we're going to go very fast today because I've been getting so many people asking, how do I set up my office? And I'm getting folks who want to call on practitioners. How do I call on a practitioner? So we're going to have 30 minutes on how I do that because I really believe that's important that you know, and I have been changing my tools around a little bit to make that easy and a better flow. So we're going to be talking about all of that today, but let's get going on the technology first. So why are we here today? Because you're here to learn about what this LifeWave technology is. This is X39. This is a stem cell activation patch, and it is activated by your own body's light or heat. Much in the way the sun creates vitamin D, this also is a form of light therapy, or I like to call it photobiomodulation, light making change in your body. And how does that actually work? Well, it's a wearable patch. It's a wearable technology. And if you open it up, you'll see it sticks, much like a Band-Aid. And inside is white organic organic crystals. And that's made up of some amino acids, some sugar, some water, some salt, some oxygen. And it forms a crystal lattice, which is a reflector. What does it reflect? It reflects back your own light. So when you put that on your skin, it's going to reflect back a light wave back into your skin, into your body to make change. What is it making a change to? Well, this particular patch activates a peptide. This peptide is called GHK copper peptide. This particular peptide has the unique ability to activate your stem cells, make more stem cells, and reset your stem cells to a younger, healthier state, like when we were 20. And you may say, well, why is that important? I didn't really know why it was important until a doctor told me. Well, Dr. Rhonda Donahue told me this. She said, when an egg and a sperm meet, you get stem cells. And that stem cell is what makes the heart, the lungs, the brain of that physical child of the body. Baby is born, and those stem cells down-regulate. They can't make two heads anymore. But you know what they can do? They can change into whatever cell your body needs for repair. Tissue, connective tissue, cells, organs, like they can be anything. And that is why our children from age 0 to age 30 are so well protected. Isn't God great? But then all of a sudden by 30, we lose 50% of our stem cell activity. It goes dormant. They're not dead. They just kind of go on vacation. And by age 60, they're almost all dormant. So have you ever noticed at about age 30, it's when our metabolism slows down, everything's just a little harder, maybe your digestion gets off, your hair starts kind of looking different, going gray or starting to, you notice that first wrinkle. And then by age 60, it's like, oh my gosh, what really happened to me? I don't know if you guys are like that, but that's how I was. What really just happened here? And you know what happened? Stem cells just stopped working. So what if we could activate our stem cells to work like they did when we were 20? I don't know. I don't know how old you are. I was 20 in the 80s. So I just think back to the 80s and I think my hair was big. I had no gray hair. I had no wrinkles, and I had unibrows that were so big. My children said I had eyebrows of a man. How many women would die for eyebrows of a man today, right? You can shape them any way you want. I know this is a little too much information, but it's truth. That is youth. And Dr. Rhonda Donahue said, let's go step back into that, Marcy, because I was struggling from symptoms of breast cancer. And I was not in my most youthful way. In fact, I was about as far from it as one could be. So I started wearing those patches 4 years ago. First 2 days, the metal of chemo detoxed out of my mouth. Day 10 or day 5, my skin got soft because stem cells start to rebuild collagen. Oh my gosh, did you know collagen is like 80% of your body? It's like all your connective tissues. It's like super important inside and out. And it rebuilt my brain. My brain all of a sudden felt young and happy and like I could do anything. Like when I was 20, I remember calling her up and saying, I don't know what you just gave me, but I feel like getting out of my lazy boy chair, and I never feel like that. I'm not sure what's going to happen as it relates to my own life, but I don't care because I feel good. Isn't it amazing when you feel good? You don't care if you were supposed to be sick. And then here's the crazy thing. When you feel good, all of a sudden you're not sick and you're just not. So I've been in remission again for 2 years. And I'm really, really excited about that. And, you know, Dr. Rhonda and I decided 4 years ago to share this because honestly, the world needed to know, you know, the patch found us. We didn't find it. It found you. So enjoy the journey because this is stem cell. This is activation. This is not a $20,000 injection from Europe. No, we're activating your own stem cells to actually start repairing you again, like it did when you were young. Now, here's the thing. Those stem cells act like an army, and they start marching and marching and marching. And I don't know what it's going to fix first in you or your patients, but the stem cells know, each person's stem cells know, and they will go to the greatest source of inflammation first and repair that. Inflammation, by the way, is like an anchor saying, this really needs some help. And stem cells start marching and they help and they fix, and then they march to the next anchor of inflammation. Let's go help. I don't know if it's going to be your internal organs first, if it's going to be that knee, if it's going to be that lower nerve pain. I really don't know. I just know that they start to march. And as Dr. Nicholas says, he was on Dr. Stacy's call the other day. He says this, just wear it. If you need to, double it until you fix it. I thought to myself, well, that's what I've done. I wear my X39. I actually double it because I had more issues than most. And I've worn it until I fixed it. And honestly, I just keep on getting better and better every day. And that's the other thing. It just keeps getting better and better every day as those armies start marching again and repairing. David Schmidt says, give 1 month for every decade you are old. So I'm 56. So that would be, I needed to give at least 6 months for my army to start repairing everything. But here's the great thing. We have a study that shows that after 6 months, whoa, you reach your age 8 years inside and out. We have a study that shows the heart starts repairing. I'll show that to you in a minute. We have a study that shows our brain starts to rebalance. So David has over 100 clinical studies and he has 90 patents. He's an inventor. He's been at this since 2004. We just didn't know. He started by creating an energy patch for the Navy SEALs. They called him up and they said, David, we know you're an inventor, because he was working in their submarines to invent ways to make those more efficient. So they knew he was really good at what he did. So they called him up and they said, we want to find a way to keep the guys up at night without stimulants. And that was the birth of his company. The energy patch actually turns fat into energy and activates the mitochondria, the powerhouse of every cell of your body. So you get natural stimulant with no caffeine, no bad stuff. Isn't that great? Light's all good, no bad. But we just didn't understand what that was. So basically the company was just doing 30 million a year, just small, because people didn't understand light. Well, in 2018, practitioners started using things like laser and red light sauna and all sorts of light therapy. And so we started to realize that light really is a method to repair. So 2018, X39 comes in, and it's this perfect combination of light and stem cell. And isn't that amazing? Everybody realized that this was truth. And the company now is growing to over 300 million, moving to 500 million. So no, the company, David's technology is solid. And we've just realized it. So no, this company has been around and his research has been around. We're just figuring it out now. So no, you're in a great place to help yourself, your clients. And this is the X39 stem cell activation patch. The other patch I want to talk about that goes with it is called EON. And EON actually activates a peptide. So it's a different wavelength of light, and it activates a different peptide, okay? So this activates a peptide that reduces inflammation. So what's inflammation? Well, inflammation, you ready for this? Is an eater of stem cells. Think of inflammation. You guys remember the 80s Pac-Man? Think of inflammation as being the little Pac-Man that goes eating stem cells. That's not good, right? So what happens if you reduce inflammation? Well, you turbocharge the X39 to repair even better. We call this the dynamic duo. I am pronouncing that right, finally. The dynamic duo, like the superheroes, Batman and Robin. And what does this do? It makes everything work better. And together, they're very demonstrative. That means you will notice something. So where do you wear these? Well, you can wear them right below the back of your neck, underneath your belly button. Honestly, any spot will do. I had a friend from Hawaii yesterday saying she has the worst nerve pain right at her lower back. I said, put these two right on your L7, which is the nerve right on your lower back. Like, embarrassing to say, but like right above your butt area is where that nerve is. And you just stick it right there, and it's going to go up and down the nerve, and it's going to start what? It's going to start repairing. And so these two, I always recommend practitioners to start your patients on these two first, and then you can start adding some of the other patches on top of. The only way you know the difference between these patches, you see they're all kind of white. So the way you know the difference is you see, you got to just read the back. You see how that says EON? And that says X39, they're stamped. So that's really the only way you know. And you wear them 12 hours on to activate and repair, and 12 hours off. 12 hours on to activate and repair, and 12 hours off. The reason you do that is because these are light and they're signal based. So if you wear them 24 hours over and over again, your body gets used to the signal and it doesn't work so well. So just like a light, if you keep it on over and over and over again, would burn out. Same concept. So 12 hours on to activate and repair, and 12 hours off. Once again, you can wear them right below the back of your neck or underneath your belly button. But honestly, any spot will do. So pop the spot that is your issue. If you got pain on your shoulder, pop your shoulder. If you got pain on your lower back, pop your back. And Dr. Nicholas says 2 great spots. If you have nerve pain from upper body, pop your C7. Nerve pain from lower body, pop your L7. C7 is like the on your spine, like right under your neck. L7, once again, is right above your butt. Okay, so these are the dynamic duo, X39 and EON. Now I'm going to take you to our website because I believe that doctors will want to do some research. So I'm going to show you where you can research more, and I'm going to show you where you can research more of our technologies. And then we'll take the last 30 minutes to talk about how we could set up your practice. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we're going to go to startx39now.com. That's startx39now.com. And if you look here, I just want you to see where you can do some more research later on today. So once again, write this down, startx39now.com. Take a look at the first video on light. It's only 2 minutes. Take a look at the second video on stem cells. It's 3 minutes. And you may also want to look at some of these pictures. I'll just show a few. This is our beautiful woman, but this is the same woman before and after stem cells. That really looks like grandmother and daughter. It's the same person. Look at this one. This is nerve pain. This is what we were talking. There's C7 on the neck. You see that C7? The nerve is pinched. The nerve is flowing now. Take a look at Mandy. This is after 2 years. This is showing you that the longer your stem cells continue to work, the younger you look. And this is day 1. This is day 2 years. I mean, it looks like mother and daughter. And this is actually me. That was when I had the cancer. That's when Rhonda found me in 2019. 2020, 2023. And what I noticed is here, I just was so inflamed with steroids. I had no eyebrows. I lost them all. And you can just see how it just, the inflammation just went totally down and the skin really changed. And the only way you know it's the same person is the glasses. Those are the same glasses in 2019 as 2020. 2023, I got a new pair of glasses, but I still have those old ones, just saying. And then the finger cut off, died, grew back, and also great for pets. Look at this. Really an eye that cannot see. And look at how it's like getting better all the time. So take a look at your pictures. Also, after doing that, if you want to know more, go watch David Schmidt's 18-minute video on X39. This is the owner, inventor, CEO of the company. He talks about the technology of X39 and the issues it helps with. Here's all the patents and clinical studies. I just, for example, went and downloaded some clinical studies for Juliana Cole. And when I did it, I was just so amazed at all the studies. So you want to just go to X39 and pop the studies. Hold on, give me a minute there. Let's go to all the studies. So you go here and you can look at them. Some of my favorite studies, if you want to look, is I love the blinded study that shows that X39 activates GHK in the blood. It's right there. Read it. I love the study that says, give me a minute. This one right here. Oops, I didn't need to open it up, but this is the brain mapping study. I love this study. This study shows that within 6 weeks, X39 took a brain from hot to a brain functioning just right. So great study there. This one is awesome. The biofield study. This study shows that after X39, you actually reverse the age of your heart. The biofield study, okay? You can also go to patents and you can say, well, what's really going on with a patent? You can view the X39 patent. This patent says, yes, X39 activates GHK in the blood, which literally activates and stimulates stem cells. It's on the patent. We have a 20-year patent. So go and read some of the studies. They will very much impress you. So you can keep going down and you can, oh, I love the what to expect. So you can expect to reset 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. This is Dr. Melinda Connor. She did a lot of independent research for David. This is the actual study I just showed, the brain mapping study that said after 6 weeks, rebalance the brain. Oh, this is the biofield study I just showed you. Yes, another study shows at 6 weeks, the cardiovascular system began to act 2 years younger. So these just recap the studies, the big studies I just showed you. So I know many of you are going to go eat up those studies, which is great. 3 to 6 months, we're going to reset the stem cells to start repairing. And 6 to 12 months, 14 out of 15 people lowered their biological age by 8 years inside and out after 6 months. And, you know, here's the thing. We have the studies, but you could also see that by the pictures. And you can understand more by going to what people are saying, what doctors are saying. You're going to love what doctors are saying. And you can also go here. There's a lot more of doctors, a lot of doctors. This is David Schmidt actually going over the research with practitioners. So if you don't want to read all the studies, you just want to hear David talk about them, listen to this video. And lastly, this is what Dr. Patty de Blasio did when she realized what this technology was. She went to every single product that David Schmidt makes and watch the video. This is a 10-minute video where David talks about every product he makes. And then these are our videos on X39. I just talked about that. X49. So X39, I'll say this very quick, but you're going to have to really watch it. So X39 activates your stem cells. X49 is also a stem cell activation patch. This activates AHK in the blood, the daughter peptide of GHK, and it activates mostly in the muscle of your brain and your heart. So very brain and heart protective. Also, it builds lean muscle mass, grows bones, acts as a Faraday cage for cell phone radiation, and increases testosterone. I mean, really, what does this patch not do? People that work out love this patch. It's great for sport performance. We talked about Eon. Reduces inflammation. I did not tell you it also increases SOD, superoxide dismutase, so that builds immune system. And it also is the queen bee jelly peptide, which is the reasons queen bees live 50% longer than worker bees. And so, of course, a great longevity patch. Also, rest and digest. It will calm you down. I call this the gentle giant. Glutathione is your body's natural detox and your natural antioxidant pathway, and it's the polar outer of all yuck: fungus, mold, virus, toxins, metal, bacteria, Roundup. Glutathione will detox. This one is no joke. Carnosine is the protector of all organs and also protects your telomeres. The longer your telomeres stay long, the longer you live. They shrink and stub down, you die. So carnosine, once again, is the protector of your heart, your brain, just like X49, but it also will protect your pancreas, your liver, your colon. I love to say carnosine is a true lover of the heart. I actually wear this on my heart every day. Alavita Trio, that is skincare. Alavita actually reduces something called oxidative stress in 5 minutes. And you saw the energy scan of the heart in the or of the brain in the other study. Well, David did this on Alavita as well, an energy scan. What he found is people had energy dark purple with holes in it. And after Alavita, in 5 minutes, the energy path went to turquoise. And that's why the color of the product is turquoise. When I saw that, I said to myself, I like that color. And I think my body, my energy signature will look very pretty as a turquoise. So I started wearing that right between my eyebrows at night. And what we women have found is it really builds collagen like X39 and gives us the glow, the tight, what is that thing? Jaw, and no turkey neck. We should all have turkey necks at this age and we don't. Yay. The day and night cream was created because David wanted something clean to put on his skin, because our skin is the biggest organ of the body and goes right into the bloodstream. So better believe the day and night cream is clean. You can get 2 Alavitas in the day and night cream for $150. I just get the set all the time because it's cheaper than buying 1 Alavita for $69, and I get all that cream. So I use the cream now for my legs and my arms too. And by the way, I didn't say this, but X39 is basically $100 a month. You know, that the sleeves are basically $69 a month, all the supportive patches. X39 is basically $100 a month. So this is not expensive technology. And then SP6, I just started wearing this. Great for digestion, like really good if you have colon issues like me. Great for hormone balance and great for the pancreas. It stops food cravings because it helps to regulate sugar, right? So really good for all of that. It stimulates the gland, the hypothalamus gland, which is connected to the pancreas, to the endocrine system. And so it really does balance all of that, including your, oh goodness. I'll come back to that, but SP6 is great. Nirvana is great for elevating mood. We are out of stock of Nirvana at this particular time. We're hoping in 3 months Nirvana will come back, but this is a mood stabilizer. Energy enhancer. Energy, once we again converts fat into energy and activates the mitochondria. LifeWave is a pain bandage. You put the brown spot on the pain, the brown patch on the pain spot, the white patch about 3 inches away, and it breaks the connection of pain. This really is good with X39 and Eon for anybody that's dealing with people that have a lot of pain. And then Silent Night. Silent Night is beautiful. This Silent Night actually first turns into serotonin and then into melatonin. So it's so good to balance the brain. I don't have trouble sleeping, but I just started wearing this at night for the serotonin and the melatonin support because it's so good for you. And AccuLife is pain relief for horses. So if you love your animals and your horses have that quiver, that means they're in pain, and AccuLife will pull that away. We also have the Shine and Dream. These are olfactory. You sniff them in your nose, big inhalations. And what Dream does is puts you to sleep. Shine is energy, and it also builds testosterone and oxytocin. Both are so good for keeping your tissues young. Dream and Shine. So I just wanted you guys to see that and know that you can also just go to the quick product sheet right here. And you could print this off and have this in your office. This allows you to talk to your patients about all the technologies in the box and placement. So this is startx39now.com, and I believe you will find it a wealth of information. So we're going to move right into how to set up an office and how to call on an office. And then once we get done with that, we may have 15 minutes. And I do see that possibly I saw Dr. Don maybe pop in. So maybe he'll bless us with the last 10 minutes with his knowledge. But let's first go into how an office would set up. So I personally love my business bag. All of you practitioners should order one, and I'll tell you how to do that. So what I do is, this is my envelope, and it's a script. Let me read it to you. Well, if you were a doctor talking to your client, well, Betty, it looks like you wear your X39, and I'm reading, 12 hours on to activate and repair and 12 hours off. Yes, the stem cell activation patch is made out of organic crystals, which is activated crystals that when applied to your skin is activated by your skin's heat, which is a form of infrared light. This reflects back a light wave that activates your GHK copper peptide. This in turn is proven to activate your stem cells, produce more stem cells, and reset it to a younger, healthier state. It turns out when you put younger stem cells on old tissue, you turn the tissue young again. And we've lost most of our activity by the time we're 60. So you're going to really enjoy this. All I did was read the envelope. Okay, so Dr. John Harmon, chiropractor, he just has like 50 of these envelopes, and he educates his patients by reading it to them. Then on this side, he would say, put it right under the belly button or under the back of the neck. For more information, go to startx39now.com. Okay, it's really simple, but then you can take it a step further. You can say, well, let's open up the envelope and talk about some of the different mini cards. I call these my mini info cards. So, patient Sally, this is what you can expect. Within the first few days, you're going to 4,000 genes are going to reset to a younger, healthier state. I'm reading it. 1 to 3 months, we're going to rebalance the brain, and we have research on that. We have another study that says in 6 weeks, the heart acts 2 months younger, and we have a study. Okay, this is also on the Now site. Do you know how they all mimic each other? 3 to 6 months, we're going to activate your stem cells. 6 to 12 months, we're going to reset your age 8 years inside and out. Wow, that's great. Yes, and if you want to have an X39 and an Eon in here so you can pop the first spot while your patient's in clinic, many times X39 and Eon are demonstrative enough together to have them notice something even before they walk out of the office. You could also pop X39, Eon, and LifeWave wherever they hurt, because LifeWave is the pain band-aid. So you can decide whether you want to pop the spot for your patient or whether you just want to talk it and they buy a kit right from you in office. That's your choice. I'm just giving you some ideas. Then you say, well, hey, let's look at the pictures. And what do you know? The exact same pictures that are on the Now site. Pop to 5 of the pictures that make sense. You can also say to your client, well, let's just read what this technology does. You're reading the script. LifeWave uses a form of wearable light technology, Betty, that activates your own stem cells, makes more stem cells, and resets it to a younger, healthier state. And this is why it's important. Stem cells are the only cells in your body that are changeable. They can change into whatever cell your body needs for repair, just like when you were 20. Visit startx39now.com. And you can research more. Look at the pictures. And by the way, Betty, we're going to track your progress. I recommend getting the family pack, which is the gold pack. And so you'll have enough for you and your husband and kids. And you can track things like quality of sleep, energy, mental clarity, pain, inflammation, headaches. And so I've made all these cards matte so you can direct your patients to write on them. Okay. And here you go, Betty. The ones I recommend for you because you have that pain in your lower back is X39, that's your stem cell activation. X49 is going to give you that bone and muscle structure we need in that lower back. Eon's going to reduce inflammation, and we're going to do one LifeWave to get rid of pain. And then literally, I've set these cards up so a doctor could tell the patient what they need, and you just kind of X the ones that you recommend in the pack. And you say, that's what I would recommend you having. And then, of course, one X39 the following month to keep your stem cells activated. Actually, we could start you with the silver pack. You could get all of those for $2.99, and then one X39 the following month to keep your stem cells activating. And then we'll set you up, Patty, and it's going to ship to your house like Amazon. And then I'm going to have Susie at the front desk text you your username, password, and your ID, and then you'll be in charge of your own ordering after that. You'll be in control, and you may want to add to your auto ship. You may want to subtract it, but you'll be in control. Yes, and I'll have my front desk, Susie, call you next week and make sure that you know how to put the patches on and that you know how to order for yourself. That's perfect. If you want to do that, or whoever you need to be your assistant to do the education is great. I'm just giving you an example, right? So then you would say, well, let's go ahead and take your order now. And you're either going to take the order for Susie if you're your own office, or you're going to train your front desk person to take the order. Or if you have someone that's enrolled you that is in the business, like your upline, that's your support, You could take the order, text it to your support, and then she could be of service for your office. These are all different ways doctors do it. I have doctors do it one of 4 ways. They either do it all themselves because they're a one-man show or woman show, or they do it with their front desk person, and I would train their front desk person how to take the order and how to input it. Or the front desk person takes the order, takes a picture of it, and then would send it to me to input, as an example. Or the doctor may just text me, Betty wants to order, please call her and take the order. Thank you. And then that's me being full customer service for the office. Every doctor office is different. They do it differently. I'm just giving you different scenarios. But the one thing that's the same is we set up all offices the same way. You should have 10 to 20 of these ready to go. And then what do? You would just do, well, you could say $149 retail for X39, $119 to be a preferred customer, but I just told you I want you to be on the silver pack, and I just marked the different products. Yes, the silver pack, if you look at the yellow bubble, is 1 X39, 1 X49 equals 2 of any supportive patches, and that silver pack says 3 sleeves of X39. But as you can see, I want you to have an X39, an X49, an Eon, and an LifeWave. So I'm going to build your pack right here. And then I'm going to put your information, your name, your address, your phone number, your date of birth, your, there is somebody that's talking, your date of birth. And if you could find that, Heidi, that would be great, and mute it. Your date of birth and address and credit card number. So that order form is in your envelope and ready to fill out. Now you can also say, wow, we could also, I do see these customized packs. So that helps a doctor say, oh, I actually want you to be on the dynamic, the dynamic duo. The customized pack does say dual. That's funny, I gotta switch that. And or the pain and repair, the detox in the brain, the skin care, the sleep, or the hormone and digestion. So you see this is this form you could customize more. This one gives you some customizations to help you. So the reason I like this is because this basically is the doctor office setup. It has everything a doctor needs: how to educate, how to take an order, and you're ready to rock and roll. This also can be used if you're calling on offices. What do I mean by that? I literally would take this into an office. I would have some X39, Eon, and LifeWave with me. And I would say, if you're, calling on an office, maybe walking in, even if you're a patient, I'll give you an example of how I've done this in the past. I have a chiropractor. I go and get adjustments. I said to my chiropractor, hey, I found a stem cell technology and I would like to book an appointment to talk about that because I also rep this. And I, of course, we can't talk right now because I'm having an adjustment, but may I make an appointment? When do you see reps? Is there a day? Can I make an appointment with your front desk? Because I'd like to explain the technology and bring you some samples to try for yourself and your patients. Oh yes, go to my front desk girl, Sally. And I see reps on Tuesdays. Fantastic. Let's say I decide to call in an office closed. I might just walk into an office. Hi, my name's Marcy. I rep the stem cell technology. Is there a day and the time the doctor would see me? I would like to explain this new technology and I have some samples. Does he see reps on a certain day? So I'm booking with the front desk person. Or I may call a doctor. I always call doctors, especially chiropractors. If you guys are a chiropractor here, sorry about this, but I always call you guys from 12 to 2. Because here's the deal. You guys are always at lunch from 12 to 2. And most of you leave your cell phones on. You don't have it go to your front desk because you want to help your patients. So most chiropractors will actually pick up from me for 12 to 2. So I may call one and I'll say, I'm Marcy. And thank you for picking up. I represent stem cells. I'd love to book a time to come in and talk to you about it and bring you some samples. Is there a day I could do that? So those are some different ways that you can call on doctors as an example. Or some of you may be at a doctor event. I know one of my reps is going to do an event, a natural healing event. Well, there'll be a lot of doctors coming to the booth. So what would you do? You would educate with the patch, and you'd say, we could set up the offices. Or You might actually be at a healing event and you would say, what's going on with you? And you would patch whatever's going on with the person. And then you would say, what do you do for work? You will find out if they are a doctor, if they own a spa, if they're an entrepreneur. You know, it's amazing if you ask the right questions where you can go. I'll also show you what, and I have to go get this, but Dr. Dini is a doctor in LA. She owns the Detox Center in LA, and she is a doctor of colon therapy. And she basically had us come in and do an event. We do an event once a month, every Tuesday, the last Tuesday of every month. And what did we do? We brought in, I said, how many people will be there? She goes, between 30 or 40. And I said, awesome, let me bring in 40 of these. And I brought 40 of these in, and I brought X39, Eon, and LifeWave. And everybody got an X39 and an Eon. That just came, and I educated. And then I had some LifeWave for people that wanted to try it. I even had some glutathione because she's a detox center, and it was super fun. They used this envelope kind of like trick-or-treating, and I put some different patches in there. And by the end, everybody was filling out their order form for what they wanted. And now our first doctor event was done, as an example. And I'll show you what Deanie asked me to make for her office. Actually, Jeannie made it. Hold on. And Sally can make these boards for you. This is the same board as the before and after tracker. So she now is having this hung on her wall, as an example. We also have this one. This is a one that I had at the Healing Arts Fair that we did. And then I also had the Mandy one as an example. So you can work with Sally, our printer and our designer, to make any of the materials that you want. And I'm going to show you where to go to find that. But I just want you to see how easy it is. I just use this for everything. I use this to set up offices. I use this to call on offices. I use this to do events at where you buy a table. Shoot, I had a group of 100 people in San Antonio, and our PowerPoint didn't work. Thank goodness I made 100 of these. Everybody got one of these with an X39 and an Eon. What did we do? We read them all, the cards. They're scripts. They're scripts. They're not brochures. Brochures don't educate. We are in the world of education. To educate, you must read to people what I wrote on these cards, okay? Anybody can do it if you read. And you can even tell your doctor, I'm just learning this technology, but let's read these together. You'll probably know more than me. You're the doctor, right? I mean, that's truth. And then what was I going to say on that? Okay, let me show you where you can find some of this. So you go to Start X39 Biz. That's Start X39 Biz, biz.com. This is our business site. Oops, sorry. And this is where are you guys at? I've lost you, Jan. Oh, wait, here you are. Okay, this is where, sorry. This is where you find all our resources. Start X39 Biz. That's startx39biz.com. And what you want to do is you want to go to 14 Steps to Success. And then you want to go to Give a Gift, tab 6. And this is where you'd want to order the business bags for your offices. And you can email Jan J. Rand your name, your phone number, and your address. And this has all the cards that I like. And you can also, it costs $8. So you have to tell her how you want to pay her. And you just email her, and then she'll tell you how she gets the money. And it cost me $6 to mail these out. So it's a great deal. You could do up to 2. So these are the bags. I also love, why we're at it, if you want, the business cards. The business cards also are a script. It would have your picture, your QR code, your phone number, and the back is the Now site and what stem cells do. So these are the business cards. As an example, this is my newest business card. I use my before and after. I tell people I'm in the stem cell technology business. What do you do? I'm in the stem cell technology business. At a doctor's office, I would say I'm a rep for the stem cell technology, right? If I was talking to a doctor and I was a doctor, I would say, I found a new stem cell technology. Here's my card. You might want it in your practice. Do you see kind of the difference depending on how you're talking it? This was my old card that just was more like a professional. And then this is, for example, Dr. Lisa's card, and she's a pain management doctor. And so she had her card too. So I just wanted you to know the cards are really great. And you just work with Sally to get those cards done. And so you may want to take a picture of Sally's number and email if you want business cards. If you want the business bags, you don't want to text Jan. She will not accept a text. You must email her. So if you want a business bag, please email her at this email address here. Okay, take a picture of both of those, please. Now, you may also, what else was I going to say? We are going to do that. Oh, you're also going to want to know where marketing supplies are. So this is all under Give a Gift, tab 6. And this is everything that Sally makes. You're going to want to take, once again, this is Sally, a picture of this or the QR code will take you to the form. And here's the business cards again and the pricing. And here are the envelopes. You know, you might need more than 10. So like I just ordered 300 from her, right? And she has it in English, Spanish, and Vietnamese. I just ordered a big old thing of labels from her. And then there's all your mini cards. You know, you might need more than 10. I just ordered 300 of each because I'm doing some big events, right? So I need these cards. And then there's just other cards. There's lots of different things. Here's some, you can just see what she has. I showed you my favorite, but there's banners. I love a banner. There's my poster boards. Those are poster boards. I would love for her. Oh, she got it in. There's number 11. There's my before and after poster board. There's an athlete poster board. I would love for her to have a before after pet. She needs to add that. Somebody who's ever a vet, give her a call and say, we need a pet poster board. But you see what I mean? Everything is here. So, and it's really pretty easy, right? Get your business cards, get your business bag, order the tools. Everything is with these cards. Everything. I just finally got this figured out like all of a month ago that these really work well everywhere. So some of my other trainings where I've trained you on other things, I just use this now. Okay. Having said that, you may want to have a follow-up clipboard. And you know that I'm really into that. And my follow-up clipboard, what do you think it is? It's all these same things just printed out. So right now, as a doctor, you could literally start your business today, even if you don't have the materials, by going to startx39biz.com, biz.com. The first tab is Give a Gift, and you're going to go to print your own envelope. And you can just print that out and put it on a clipboard. It's a great idea because then you have a clipboard for your front desk person, and she can just read it to the patients as an example. And then you could go right down to tab number 9, take the order, tab 9, take the order. And you can just also print out for your clipboard the what to expect. This is exactly the same as my card. I have it on my clipboard, my before and after tracker. Do you see how I'm using the same materials over and over now? With a script, with pictures, with tracking. This is actually my favorite piece. You could actually do your whole business just with this piece, to be honest. And then my all products flyer. This is where you'd print it out and you would check the products that you want your patients to be on. The all products flyer. Then you want to go all the way up to the top and you want to print out 10 of these order forms. This is the same as the little order form. The more order forms on the clipboard, the more orders will be taken. Okay, and it's the same. I just did that before on the mini card. And then lastly, I do like to have a silver pack customized kit form. And I just usually print one of those out. It reminds me what the right customized kits may be for my client or my patient. And that helps me kind of organize my thoughts. And that is also on the back of the mini card. So that is what I do to call on a doctor. If I was a doctor, how I would set up my office, how I set up doctors' offices, and how we help clients get the product shipped to them, retail, or shipped to them like Amazon. Now, a lot of my doctors actually retail out of their shop as well. They retail X39 for $149, $150, and they retail out the supportive patches for anywhere from $80, about $80. And I didn't show you this. This is my clinic order form. I have a detox order form and a pain and repair order form. These I would use if I was calling on a doctor, and I would have that in my envelope. And I would say, well, let's start with a platinum or a diamond pack to get your inventory for your office. And when you do that, you get your products for $55 a sleeve to retail for $150 and $80. And then, of course, you want to push people, you want to make sure they sign up for the, I call it, what is it called? Drop ship right to the home. So what you could do is retail an X39 and an Eon for $150 and $80, and then say, but you can get a better deal with a silver pack and auto ship the following month. So I'll retail, let's say today's $615, I'll retail today, and then we'll fill this out and have this all ship on $710. And then you have a file of when they ship. And so then you've sold product and you've put them on auto ship. That's another way a lot of my doctors do that. Let me show you what that form looks like. You go to startx39biz.com, and it is under the clinic inventory order form. And so that order form, you see how when you do 6x39, 6 Eon, and 6 glutathione for $1,000, it gets the unit cost of $55 a sleeve. And then below here is the pain and repair kit. So this is how I would set up an office for their initial inventory. You could also use this form if you were a doctor and saying, these are the family packs and they're such a good deal. Let's just go ahead and get you all of these for, your year's supply or something for your whole family. So this is a great form as well. And this form you can also get, this does not come in the business bag because it is a little more specific, but what you can do is go to the 14 steps to success under give a gift, and you can go to marketing supplies. So once again, this is Sally's site. And if you go down, you'll see you could order those. So if you like those and you're calling on offices, there are those forms for order big. So these are setting up an office with their initial inventory. That's how I would use that form. And if I was calling on doctor offices, I'm just saying, I'd set up my little car with 20 of these, all of these in here, plus the clinic order form, X39, Eon, and LifeWave, and off I would go. I would be the doctor rep making appointments with offices so that I could be of service. I hope that makes sense. It's 9:58. Dr. Don, are you here? Would you like to end our call with some last doctor words? I don't know if he's still here or not, but if he is.
You talk about me, this Dr. Don?
I would love to have this Dr. Don. Do you have any
Okay.
Yeah,
good morning, Marcy.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I just want to say, and you and Peter are fantastic in what you teach and how you teach. I've been doing chiropractic for 50 years and hundreds of seminars, and you guys are fantastic. But one of the things I want to say, of course, I listened to Dr. Nichols the other day, was fantastic, 110%. And what we do a little bit different in our office, of course, is exactly what you're talking about to some degree. we introduce our patients to it as a new patient and as existing patients. We've got some existing patients, we tell them about it and they have them think about it. Sometimes, of course, Sandy will give them a test run on the patches. And that example, I had one the other day, she comes in regular. She's one of our management patients and she's, well, I'm going to have to get those sooner or later. So that kind of comment comes back. So, and some of our new people that come in, we do our exams, our x-rays and so forth, whatever is needed. And then we put them on a program of care and then we include the patches on the side if they're interested and they talk to Sandy or Jeff in our office and they set them up on that. So I tell the patients what the patches do is it helps everything that we do better and faster, keeps them better. We have some patients that go north for the summer. And of course, a couple of them commented and he says, well, I just can't drive 2 hours down here to see you once a month. I said, why don't you take me with you by getting the patches? So a couple of them did that, which was good. Because we have a few that do that, but it's amazing. And of course, we see the results like you're talking about. Of course, you've heard all the testimonials and some of the people are coming into us for chiropractic care along with the patches and so forth. So I can't say too much about them because there's just amazing technology. As far as talking to patients, it just depends on the patient. Some of them, they don't want to hear about them. And after I kind of recommended a couple of times, they'll say, what was those patches you was talking about? That kind of thing. So we just tell them the response that they might get from them, what their symptom is, what's going on. We've had some, of course, we've put the pain patch on. It's helped a tremendous amount. And then they were interested in doing that. I put one of our young ladies, she's 21, she fell down and bumped her knee. And of course, she was really limping. It was bad. She's, well, my sister says I should go see an orthopedic right away. And I had 2 of these people last week. And of course, I said, I put a 49 on her meniscus. And of course, the next day, she's probably 80% better. And of course, she's 21. So the younger you are, the more response you have, the faster response. So we use them in lots of different areas. I do in my clinic, I do what they call activator protocol. It's a testing procedure. We test each individual joint as far as the function of it. And that test tells us a little bit what to do. I also do energy work, which is balancing the energy that flows through the body. And I use that procedure to find out where the best placement of the patches are, because it can be different in a lot of people, depending on their symptoms and what's going on at that time. So we have a lot of tools to help patients to function better, do better, and get more use out of the patches, that type of thing. So, and I've got some friends all over the country because I practice in New Mexico, I practice in Iowa and Kansas, and I've got people in those areas. I have a friend that's in Albuquerque, she's 84. As soon as I told her about these, she said, well, send them to me, get me signed up. I'm still working with her. And she got the patches, she called me, and of course we helped her place the pain patches on her back, and took about 5 minutes, and she walked around a little bit, sit down again, and said, you know what, it's quite a bit better already. So, and of course, we all hear these stories, and she's still doing the patching, and she's doing the 39 to 49 and the Eon, and then she does the pain patches on and off because it's doing better. Going to see her chiropractor more regular. I said, you still got to get adjusted. It helps everything work better. So we're so excited about it. And of course, Jeff and Sandy are working night and day, helping other people, and with Rich and so forth. So can't say much about it. Any questions you might have? I mean, I can go on and on, but
I just love that. So Doctor is a chiropractor and he's giving real examples of how he's using the technology in his office and how it's helping all his patients. Does anybody have a question for Doctor? Anybody have a question? Like
Marcy, there is a question that was asked twice in the chat. Let me scroll to the top.
Okay.
Brian Fraze would like to know, do we have a protocol to increase NAD plus ?
NED plus.
NAD.
NAD, and once again, we are not here to cure, diagnose,
Right.
or treat any disease, of course, but NAD is it's for longevity, and I would say the patches that increase longevity would be patches such as carnosine is a telomere protector. Alavida lengthens telomeres, so that's longevity. Eon reduces or activates SOD for longevity. And I would also say the other longevity patch is energy, which activates the mitochondria. So that would be and of course, X39. of course. So I'm just going to say again, X39, Eon, Carnosine, Alavita, and Energy would be the ones that resemble what he's asking about. Oh, Jess, you have a question?
Hi, thanks. Great call again, as always. Dr. Dawn, if you could address placement of patches, because I follow the placements that are recommended, but I'm also a strong intuitive, so I check in that way. I have particularly watching people have reactions to the patches directly on pain. For instance, an 83-year-old who has SI pain, discomfort, and the patches directly on it, on that spot, will irritate and aggravate. So we're experimenting, but I'd like to see him have relief sooner than later.
Well, what I tell
And
people,
in general about placement.
yeah, if you're intuitive, that usually takes the right place. But if it doesn't respond, what I always say, David did the research. The 39 goes on C7, the 49 goes two fingers between the belly button. And of course, Dr. Nicholson pointed out the Eon can work much better than sometimes than the pain patches, the LifeWave. So I would try the Eon on it, and again, if it gets irritated, take it off in 2 hours, place it someplace where it's safe, put it back on in 2 to 4 hours when the symptoms change. Some people can't change so fast. In other words, and sometimes I adjust people, if you do too much on them, they'll react, the body will react, reject what you're doing to some degree. So, and Goodwood finds the same thing. You put it on a short period of time if people don't respond to the pain. So the biggest answer to your question is if they're getting uncomfortable with that, take it off for 4 hours. And if they feel better again, then put it back on 4 hours and try that. But you can always go back to the 39 and the 49 in the proper placements that David has researched. You might put it on the opposite side of the body. If you got SI pain on the right, with the Eon on the right, put the Eon on the left side, because that balances the energy. Because I do a procedure in the office that balances the energy flow in the office. Many times we work the opposite side of the body where the pain's at. So that might be an idea too. So that might help.
That's a
And
great
the other
reminder.
thing, if there is if it gets hot, sometimes red, then it's kind of like getting a sunburn because we're activating the heat of the body. So just take that off the spot and put it on a different area, or wear half of the patch, or put it on your clothes, bra, underwear. It has a 3-inch radius. So, and sometimes stuff coming out is just a detox, right? So you do have to kind of ask the questions. Do we have detox? Is it a little heat spot? But if it's a heat, we're not, that the patch is not made out of latex, so there's really not latex reaction, but maybe to the plastic there might be like 0.5%, but that can even be fixed by putting it on the clothes, right? So you do have to, so I would test putting it on the clothes, changing the spot, wearing a half a patch, titrating up until they start getting used to it, and rotating it around the body. Because remember, any spot will do. Your whole body's light. So if they're getting a red spot, don't be having them keep putting it on the same spot that's going red. Move it, please. Okay.
And I also find it interesting that Dr. Dawn, you're recommending 49 right out the gate.
I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes. It does so much more because I've done about 7 months. I've tried different things, and I've tested, and the 49 really comes up a lot when joints and that kind of thing. But the 39 is still your key one. You have to have that with it. You don't want to separate it. So
I think it's interesting, doctor, as a chiropractor working on energy and structure and body and joints and spine, what you work on, that I think I heard this. It sounds like your go-to is X39, X49, Eon, and LifeWave for those kinds of things. With that, and
that's correct. Yes, definitely. Yes.
Yeah. And
so that's really good to know that for pain and repair kinds of things like he does, that's the go-to. And Dr. Patty, that was her go-to too. So you guys are the same in that. And I started adding X49. Like I had a lady I talked to yesterday who had that nerve pain right at, the L7 or L5. I might have the wrong name.
L5.
It's not L7. Is there even an L7?
No, it's L5's your last ones, 1 through 5. And then
Oh my
you're
God,
sacred.
I've been calling L7, but
Really?
C7,
C7,
C7, L5.
yes,
This is why I need you. I am not a doctor. I just play one on Zoom. I'm kidding. I'm
you're
just
doing good, you're doing good.
C7, L5. But anyway, I added X39 for all because I've been listening more and more to the chiropractors really liking that 4-patch protocol for structure. So that's really nice to confirm, doctor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Marcy,
You're
I
welcome.
Another
know,
question?
I know we're a little after, it's 10:09. Do we have time for one more question from the chat?
I do if doctor does.
Sure, it's okay.
So the question is, we all know that David talks a lot about increasing testosterone levels, but the question is, do the patches increase estrogen levels?
Well, I would say it balances the estrogen and testosterone together. So whether increase or decrease depends on the body and what it needs, because the patches help the body naturally to balance whatever's going on in the body. It doesn't increase or decrease or anything. It doesn't stimulate. It helps it function normally. That's the key thing.
But I would say, once again, we're not curing, treating, or diagnosing.
Right,
anything,
correct.
But I am a breast cancer survivor that takes an anti-estrogen shot every single month. And I take X39, Eon, I take all those patches. And so I've never heard I've heard X49 with testosterone, but not with estrogen in that way. And so that's, I would hope that answers that.
So you're saying that the patches then put the body into a state of homeostasis, of
A
balance.
state of homeostasis,
Correct.
but
Okay.
me being on an anti-estrogen, I'm not afraid of X49. You know what I'm saying? Increasing my estrogen. But I'm not a doctor. I'm a girl.
Well,
You know.
yeah, it wouldn't, if it didn't need it increased, it's not going to increase because the body operates naturally if you're not stimulated or inhibiting it. So it's going to make your body respond to what is needed for survival.
Thank you. And there was one other question about patches for memory or something like that I saw in chat. That would be X49 and carnosine. X39 and Eon, of course. X39 and Eon are always your base of everything first, and then you layer on top. So X39 Eon, and then layer carnosine and X49 there. Are we good? We are at 10:11. We have gone. So I think we're going to say goodbye. Dr. Dawn, maybe
Okay.
you can come talk with us next Thursday. That was so nice to have you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much. So with that, have a great rest of the day. I hope you enjoyed the practitioner call, and we really thank you for coming, learning about the technology, hearing from Dr. Don, how he's actually using it in practice, and also the tools that you could use in your practice to get it to your patients, or if you want to call on a practice, how you do that, or if you are a client that goes to a doctor and you just wanted to understand it more by being on here. We thank all of you for coming today. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you next Thursday at the 9 a.m. practitioner call. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.